Hi guys, welcome to a new video. If you didn't know, Saturday night's main event was this past Saturday. So I'm going to be giving you my review of the matches, the good and the bad. Let's get into it. So in the first match you had women's tag team titles on the line. Paige and Brie Bella, the champions, fighting against Fatal Influence, Fallon Henley and Lainey Reed. I like that. You had technical wrestling, you had chain wrestling, you had all that. The champs really dominated, I have to say. But they're building up new stars now, aren't they? So the finish was Jacy Jayne getting involved, making sure that Fallon Henley could roll up Paige, and now the titles are in Fatal Influence. So I like that. And then in the next match you had Danhausen versus JD McDonough, no disqualifications. This was just so fun. I loved it. So you had all of the cloning machine stuff, didn't you put that cat that was that stuffed animal cat into the cloning machine? First came the Mini-Housens to attack JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio, and then you had the massive towns coming in, didn't you? I mean, I just love when he that choke slam, you could hear that from where I am. And you don't see that, where that chokeslam was on the same level as Undertaker's chokeslam, I have to say. So that was all good until after that match. Adverts. What are these adverts? Just WWE needs to stop this. I get what they're doing it for, to pay the wrestlers, to pay for all of the stadiums they're going to and stuff, but just couldn't you advertise less? Because for every 2 minutes of wrestling there was a minute of ads, and I just hate that. I just want to see the show. If you watch AEW, TNA, any other event, MLW, then there might be ads, yeah. Nowhere near as many as them. They're the biggest wrestling company in the world, but they're asking for a lot of money for it, and the prices. Did you see WrestleMania ticket prices? They were in thousands. I think it was 200 quid for the worst seat in the house. You can't be doing that. No one has that money. And then you had Lyra Valkyria versus Bayley. That was incredible. That's as real as WWE gets. I hope Lyra's okay. She looked like she broke her nose, I think. And then, so I'm hoping it was just scripted. That new submission that she put in at the end, that should be a new finisher, because the Nightwing really just, on a heel Lyra, isn't the best. Just doesn't suit her, I think. So after that you had a not very good match, in my opinion. You had CM Punk and Cody Rhodes defeating Gunther and Sami Zayn. So I liked it because the storytelling at the end, so CM Punk had the title. He threw it over his shoulder a bit so he could put it on his shoulder, rest it on there. he hit Cody with it by accident. Cody would not forgive him. CM Punk wouldn't apologise. So I'm thinking on the next SmackDown, I think Cody Rhodes might betray CM Punk and have a heel turn right before SummerSlam. And then after that, you had the worst thing. The main event segment was Roman Reigns and Jalen Brunson. It was all Roman Reigns, you know, he was chatting, you know, but then he gave, I think it was a cool belt, but he gave Jalen Brunson like a blue Knicks World Heavyweight Championship. It's a very cool belt, I have to say, but then after that, Seth Rollins' music hits. I thought it was going to be Seth coming out, you know, but of course it was more NBA stuff. I get it, like they just won the title, but then after that, Tyrese Halliburton, who plays for the Pacers, like just came in, and then Seth came in, and then it just a massive brawl. Like, I'm surprised Jalen Brunson didn't really get involved, but yeah, that was, the brawl was okay, but the overall like actual promo, I nearly slept through it. So that is, I'm gonna give that event overall a 6 out of 10. Like, but if you include like the adverts and stuff, then 4 out of 10. So I'm gonna rate every single match start to finish. First match, you had the women's tag match. I'm going 7.5 out of 10. For the second match, you had Danhausen versus JD, no DQ, 8 out of 10. Lyra Bailey, 9 out of 10. CM Punk versus CM Punk and Cody versus Gunther and Sammy. I'm going to give that one 6. And then the main event segment, 5. But then the storytelling at the end of the Punk Cody whole thing, I'm going to give that an 8. So that was my review of this Saturday night's main event. Hope you enjoyed.